give it a minute for people to come on. I'm seeing this. It'll tell you how many people are on right there,
Okay.
and then the questions will pop up right on the thing.
But when do I turn it to your screen right now?
You're gonna owe it. No.
Oh.
It's still facing me.
Oh no, it's facing me.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
Yeah. Oh, you got 5 people on.
What's up, guys? Luckily I got my buddy Randy. It's back there taking a video today, so he's going to be able to ask questions. That way we can kind of fish and answer questions at the same time. So y'all can start at any time. Make sure you thank Randy for doing this for us. Makes everything much easier.
Eric just said, "What's going on, bud?"
What's up, man? Aren't you supposed to be working? This back should look familiar to him.
Morris Benfield said, "Good morning, guys."
Morris Benfield, good morning. Old man Morris. He's had like 30 heart attacks and he's still alive. He's a fucking cat, man.
What's the water temperature and the game plan?
Water temperature is 44.1. I was catching them last week, fishing rock banks with wood on it that had access to deep water. Kind of bluff style banks. I'm throwing a jig and a spinnerbait. See what happens. We're only going to stay on for about an hour. The best window out here lately has been from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So we're going to get off before 10 so we can actually fish. But we'll answer some questions in the meantime. Water went down. It's 44 now. It was 47, 46. I was out Tuesday, and water temperature was 46. So
Eric says, "Have you been out with Tyler lately?"
I have not been out with Tyler lately, no.
Oh,
Tyler's always working.
I guess it's tough to hear you speak. Jim Morris just said that, so.
No, Morris said that because Morris is deaf. Morris, turn your fucking thing up, man. I'm just messing with you. Maybe let us know if you want to see something or if you can't hear or anything like that. So I'm trying to stay on a bank where I'm out of the wind. We'll see what happens. Of course, as soon as we start, the wind starts. Trying to stay on these rock banks because rock holds heat, so like there's a little bit of heat that's left in this water should be holding on these rocks. I was just telling Randy I haven't burnt a gallon of gas in the past couple weeks because I've been staying in the same area. I mean, I like to stay around where I know that there's going to be fish, and that's bluff style banks in the wintertime. It's definitely wintertime fishing now with this water temperature as low as it is. I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce jig, football head jig with it's a custom made jig that a buddy of mine makes for it with a 4/0 Trocar hook, and the trailer is a Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver. It doesn't have a whole lot of action. In the cold, you don't want a whole lot of action.
Jim says, "Are you you throw blade baits?"
I do throw blade baits. This lake is throw a blade bait because of with the stuff that I'm fishing, but I do throw a blade bait a lot in the wintertime. To answer your question, yes, if I'm around wood, it's a little bit trickier. Like on a tidal water, I would throw a blade bait 95% of the time in the wintertime, just because it's a lot easier to get through and get it unhung when you're fishing shallow water. But I mean, we're not fishing, it's not shallow enough for me to be throwing a blade bait.
Bow Hunter says those jigs look sexy. I need to get some.
Yeah, a lot of people need to get something for me being stingy, so I don't know what to tell you. You can buy a good quality jig though. I use Revenge Jigs is a good company. Picasso makes a good football head jig. Their HD football head is it's got a stir than the normal football head, so that one's a good one too. And of course, Strike King. I know you guys probably come fishing pretty shallow for it being wintertime, but these fish have told me otherwise. I mean, the past couple of weeks I've been catching them pretty damn shallow for as cold as it is. Now, my boat right now is sitting in 15 foot, so it's right next to deep water. And I'm trying to slow roll this spinnerbait and kind of bounce it off any little points of rocks or wood or anything that I can get it around.
Mark says, do you drag the jig on the bottom?
You had to do that, didn't you, Mark? All right, so I'll tell you a little secret to fishing a jig in the wintertime. Right now I'm doing both. I'm dragging it on the bottom and I'm keeping it up. But last week I caught them in trees, and the way that I was fishing it, the fish were suspended in the water column, so up on, like next to the branches, right over top of deep water. So I was lifting up the jig. I'd let it fall for a couple seconds until it got caught up in the branches, and then I would bang it off the branch and let it fall again, and bang it off the branch and let it fall again. And I caught a few pretty big ones doing it that way for fish that were suspended up in the water column. Good question, Mark. But now you got to give away all my secrets, man. That was terrible. Don't do that to me no more.
I'm sure he has a list of them to ask you.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Hope nobody gets fired.
Mark says sorry.
Nah, it's all good, Mark. I'm just messing with you. I turned around here because there's a channel swing that is right in front of me. Where the bank, the channel bends a little bit. It's actually not even really a channel. The channel is out here further, but it's more or less the deep water swings to it and then comes out. The area straight ahead of us where we were just fishing is more of a flat. I want to know where the hell everybody's at, man. It's like, I haven't seen a boat out here in I don't know how long. We did see that guy start.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys thank Randy for doing this, because without him, I would just be sitting on the boat, not being able to fish.
Ask more questions.
Ask more questions. That's it. That's what we're here for. Don't be scared to ask anything you want to ask.
What's your thought about G-Man going back to the,
That's a good question. To the elite.
yeah.
I think it's a good move. I personally hate MLF. I think the owner is a money hungry, doesn't care about the sport. And he'll say he does, but I just don't. I think it's all revolved around money. I don't like the MLF. I think everybody's like got it in their head that the 5 fish limit thing. So I think it's a good move. I love it. I'm excited to watch Ike Live. Sunday night, Ike Live's at 7 o'clock, I think. They have G-Man, Brandon Polnick, and then they have the guy Fletcher Shyrock that started all that shit by calling them lambs for leaving. So that'll be a good episode to tune into as well.
And when is that?
Sunday at 7. I would love to stick like a 7-pounder right now.
Eric says, I want to thank you because this year was the best year, and then he went off.
Ow!
Fishing, I guess.
That's what we're here for, man. That's what I try to do. The only thing that really pisses me off, well, and it's not you guys. I know, like, most of the loyal followers are all good, but I've noticed, like, you know, like I said, I'd put up videos somewhere and then someone would pound that area. Now, on this lake in particular, there's really no secrets, you know, so, like, I don't mind it as much, but it's so much more rewarding when you find it yourself. You know, like these kind of areas in the wintertime, it's kind of like, you know, everybody knows that's what you want to do. So it's like, you know, I'm not going to be mad if you come out here and pound the bluff. That's exactly what you should be doing. But like if I'm just got some areas to myself and then they're no longer there because there's 5, 10 boats on it and they don't give a shit, you know, it's just lack of respect, you know. I wouldn't do it to you, so don't do it to me. But Eric, I'm glad you had the best year you ever had, man. That's what it's all about. I'm hearing it a lot more. Where it used to be, I can't catch a fish on this lake. Now guys are having the best years of their life. I love hearing that. Come on, guys. We're doing this for an hour. Any more questions? Keep them coming. I wish I was cool like Mark Zona where I could give away shit. Unfortunately, I don't have money to give anything away, but I'll give you away some free tips. How about that? Man, it's like night and day having you out here, man.
Why aren't you fishing deep right now? Because theoretically, everybody says deep this time of year.
Yeah, I mean that's a good question too. Now, the past the first like 3 or 4 winters I was out here, I was fooled by that same thing. So I'd fish deep and I'd search deep. There's nothing wrong with fishing deep. I'm sure like you can catch them out deep, but the problem is here, or a lot of places, they get concentrated in such little areas that on a 7-mile long lake, it would take you forever just to find those areas. So there's always going to be fish that live shallow. So what I try to do is focus on those areas that are shallow but have deep water nearby. And it's proved to me that it works. The thing that keyed me into it this year is that I was out and I was seeing seagulls that were eating dead bait that were pretty close to the bank, and then I was seeing blue herons, which I call Orville. That's just the name I named them. I was seeing them, up on the bank. Now that bird's only going to be there for one reason, and that's to eat bait. If there's bait up there on the bank, the bass are going to be up there too. So I tried it. I came up shallow under the rocks, and like the first couple flips, I got a bite. I must have had a kink in my line and broke it. And I was like, maybe they will get this shallow, And then I go up a couple more yards, and then lo and behold, I catch a 4-pounder off of a bush. Then I go up another 10 yards, another 4-pounder bush. So once that happened, then I knew, these fish don't necessarily have to go deep. Like the water temperature is pretty cold for them to be that shallow. But I feel like if there's still bait there, they're going to be there. And to fish deep, it's going to take you, 100 times as long to find them as it would if you're just going to cover water and go down the bank. Now, I wouldn't do this like if it were just a bare flat with grass on it or something like that. I'm not going to do that. If there's got to be deep water, because I feel like in the wintertime, they're not moving side to side to feed as much as they are going to move up and down. So what better piece of structure is there than, for them to move vertical would be a piece of wood or a bluff rock wall, they can go up and down. So that's the reason why I'm not fishing deep. simply for the fact that it takes way too long. And honestly, I don't know where they winter at if out deep. I do know where they winter shallow, but not deep. That's a good question.
Hey, Mark, ask that question again. I couldn't read it fast enough. As soon as they ask the question, it goes off.
It goes pretty quick.
Yeah, and you were talking, and I was trying to.
If you guys ask a question that doesn't get answered, ask it again.
Yeah.
Randy's saying it's coming off of the screen too fast.
Yeah, well, I may interrupt you then. What is the main foliage you try to imitate? In other words, what kind of bait, I guess, what are you trying to imitate?
Bluegill and shad. Either one is fine. Right now, the spinnerbait is going to mimic a shad, a ball of shad. It's just a chartreuse and white Strike King half-ounce spinnerbait. Another thing that I do is I take you can see this is a Picasso blade. I take the blade off. This is a razor blade burner spinnerbait from Strike King. So I take I make sure that I have the skirt with the longer tentacles on it, and the blade, I always change the blade to a bigger blade. I don't know what size blade this is. I would guess it was a number 4 or number 5, and put that on the back just so it has. I like to feel my spinnerbait when I'm winding it slow. So with that small razor blade, you don't feel it as much. So this bigger one, you'll really feel it start to pulsate. And that's when I know that my spinnerbait blades are moving, because I can feel it. If I can't feel it, I don't know if it's hung up or if it's caught in leaves or whatnot.
Well, when I started this morning, I was using a smaller one, and you switched it, and I could feel it a lot better. Why wouldn't you throw a jerkbait right now?
I have thrown a jerkbait. That's a good question too. I've thrown a jerkbait a lot.
That came from me.
And well, good question. Actually, I had one tied on my deck, and I put it up because I haven't caught any on it, and I've been throwing it up along these ledges like this. A deep diving one. It goes like 12 foot. I've been throwing that a lot and haven't gotten bit, so I just put it down.
Jim Morris just said, what are your thoughts on killing the grass?
So, regardless of what a lot of people think this year, I was out here when they did it. I don't know if they came out after that again or not, but what I saw was they were killing only the grass in high area traffic areas where the kayakers, don't ask me why, wanted to get in and out. So they were killing that. As far as killing, if they're going to kill a lot of the grass, yeah, that's terrible. I mean, they do it at the worst times, you know, June, July, when the fish are done spawning and there's fry that's trying to hide in that grass. They kill that grass, they have nowhere to go. Fortunately for us, we have milfoil and hydrilla, and it doesn't kill at all. So it leaves us with some, but yeah, I'm not a fan of killing grass. I actually had a bunch of people email the owner, or the guy that's in charge here at Nakamixon to bitch about them killing the grass. It didn't seem to make any bit of difference, but if it keeps happening like that, yeah, we're gonna have trouble. So, I mean, anywhere you're at in the country, if they're killing grass, it's not good. I can tell you that much.
There was a question that just came up and it went off, but I think it was about windy areas versus non-windy areas.
Yeah, so here's a prime example about that. My buddy, he's kind of like my protege now. I'm kind of teaching him the ins and outs of fishing and trying to get him with me as often as I can to learn about it. And a couple weeks ago, we were out and we were fishing some trees, kind of similar to what we're doing now, and the current was pumping. I mean, it was, the wind was blowing like 20. And he said to me, he's like, those fish really, like, don't you think they would be in like the calmer areas where they can't, they're protected from the wind? And I said, no, they love this shit. And like 5 seconds later, no joke, I hooked a 5-pounder in the same general area where it was. Now, wind for me is, Yeah, if it's too much, like you can't fish in it, then that's one thing. But I'm always going towards where the wind is. I'll stay away from the calmer areas and go where the wind is.
Does the wind blow the bait?
I don't think it does. People
Okay.
say that like the wind will blow bait up against. Have you ever seen bait fish swim? Like they're not like
That was just my question.
yeah, they're not weak. Like bait fish,
Yeah.
they don't get blown up. Like they'll say the wind's blown, it blows the bait up against the bank. No, the fuck it doesn't. Bait fish, no, they can swim in anything.
I think their thing is it blows the plankton, which the bait fish follow.
Exactly. That would be more like.
Yeah.
That would make more sense than it would.
That just a bait
That
fish
it's
or
gonna blow the bait there, and they're just having a massacre on them. You know. What I mean? But yes, always fish the wind, with the exception when they're spawning what protected areas.
Is there a certain, this is from Mark, is there a certain bait you use in the wind versus the calm? Like, since it is windy, what would you be throwing? Does it,
It
Well,
depends
I
on
mean,
the time of year.
yeah.
That's a loaded question. But right now, with the wind being blown, you definitely want to be throwing a spinner bait or something that's a moving bait, a reaction style bait. I honestly don't think that the bait matters in the wind as much as you're fishing that area that has wind. I think that's more important than the bait choice. The bait choice really doesn't matter as long as you're not, throwing a fucking, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
The area matters more than the bait, to answer that question. I mean, obviously, if you're in a strong wind, you don't want to throw like a 16-ounce shaky head that's you're gonna cast it, it's gonna blow, 30 yards down the lake before you even have time to hit the bottom. So, just adjust your bait accordingly, size. How many we got on there?
11?
Oh, also, hopefully all you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a good Thanksgiving. I just stayed home, watched football all day, hung out at the house. Oh, went fishing, caught a couple good ones Thanksgiving morning.
When do you slow fish a jig?
Right now, right now, the colder the water gets, the warmer the water gets. Either one. It's kind of like the complete opposite. But when the water is really hot and those fish get lethargic, I'm going to fish a jig a lot slower. When the water's really cold, I'm going to fish jig a lot slower as well. Like I said, I realized that some of the fish were suspended, so I've been staying off of the bottom, but I'm about to drag a jig in a little bit here because I haven't seen anything, any kind of movement or activity or anything up high in the water column. So I'm getting ready to switch in a couple minutes. So this is a perfect example of wintertime stuff. If you look straight ahead on this bank, I call this area the Bass Pro Aquarium because underneath the water, this shit looks like a Bass Pro Aquarium. It's got, this wood comes out really far. This is a sheer bluff. My boat's sitting in 20 foot right now, and these come all the way down to the bottom in 20 foot. So this is like a prime example of the kind of stuff that you want to look for in the wintertime. It's got that deep water right nearby that can come up to feed. Now, with that being said, I have not caught a fish off of this particular tree this winter, but I have caught them off of ones that look very similar. So it's kind of a prime example. Now, when I cast the spinnerbait out here, I know that that water's deeper, the trees are deeper, so I'm gonna let it sink for a minute. And then I'm gonna slowly wind it and try to tip the tops of those trees.
Do you fish Cincos at all this time of year?
I don't, but you could. Early spring, when the water temperature's in the mid to high 40s, I definitely throw a Cinco. I don't see what the difference would be between the spring and now, so yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Hey, Nick, post that again. I think he said something about spoons. Do you fish spoons this time of year?
I don't.
Yeah.
If I were fishing somewhere where the water was really clear, then yes, I would fish a spoon for sure. Just looks like a dying bait fish. It's a great idea. Some of the bait fish starts to die off when it gets really cold, so that's a great idea. I don't do it here because the water's not clear enough. Not to say you can't catch them all. It's just something I don't do. Tell you guys another thing about wintertime fishing. If you don't do this, you need to start doing it. Randy, before we started, Randy's hands were already cold. We've been out here for 15 minutes. I said, do you have anything in your gloves? He said, no. Hot hands. Best thing ever made.
Yeah.
Just let them sit in the oxygen for a little while. This is hot right now. Put it down in the palm of your glove, and then it's sitting right there. The only things that, you know, if you ever get cold, you can just cripple into them. It works really well.
Where'd you get those gloves at?
I think I got these. Honestly, these are just like Walmart gloves. They're like hunting gloves, mossy oak hunting gloves. They honestly keep my hands warm though. They came like as mittens. They had like a flap on them and then a flap on the thumb, but I ripped them off because they were getting on my nerves. So now they're just, they work. This is like the perfect angle when you're fishing a spinnerbait. See how I'm keeping that bait right in that rock, and you want to try and just bump the rock. This is the angle you should be sitting at.
Do you let the spinnerbait hit the bottom, or do you just...
No. The rocks come up pretty high, so I'm letting it go down like just far enough to where I can't see the bait, and then I'm starting to line. It's caught on a loop right now. And then I'm just I'm using a 7-to-3 gear ratio reel, so it's a fast gear ratio, but I'm just barely lining it enough to where my rod tip, see how my rod tip is thumping with the blade? You just want it, you want it just enough to where you can feel that blade turning, and that's it. But like where that rock sticks out right there, the perfect thing, cast it back behind there, and then you want to retrieve it to where it bumps that rock. Boom, just hit the rock. Boom, just hit another rock.
Well, there's 15 people on. Come on, guys. All right. Any Winter River videos coming anytime soon? My favorite video of yours is when you were smashing them. Yeah, probably that's what it was. That was my favorite too.
No, unfortunately not, because I went to go there. The place I normally go is just it's like a smaller lake off of that's on the river. And me and a buddy were going to go down there a couple weeks ago. I usually wait till November, December to go, and the water temperature was already like 33 degrees. So at that point, I mean, I didn't want to risk driving down there 2.5 hours and then it being frozen. If it warms back up, like we get a couple days of warm weather, yeah, for sure, I'm going again. I haven't had a year like I had that year that I made those videos, though. I mean, we catch good numbers, but the quality that I caught that year hasn't been there in the past couple of years. You know, but 3-pounder is a good smallmouth. You can catch them all day long. A lot of people like that video.
Did you catch very many smallies this year?
In the spring, I caught a ton of them.
Eric says, what type of soft plastics do you use this time of year?
Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver is anything that doesn't have a lot of action. You don't want like kickers on your legs like a rage crawl or a rage bug would have. You want something that's very subtle. The bait that I have on the back of my jig now, it does more of like almost like a helicopter dying effect instead of like the legs kicking as it's coming down. As far as smallmouth this year, I caught maybe 15 or 20 of them all year. Not as many as normal, but they're in here. If you guys have been wanting to come out too, for whatever reason in the wintertime, Once that water warms up just a little bit, that's the best time to go. It's been like 10 to 12 o'clock, 10 to 1 o'clock. The early morning bite hasn't been great. And like I said, when you're fishing in this cold of water, you're only fishing for 1, 2, maybe 3 bites at the most. You're not fishing for numbers like you would be any other time of the year, but the thing is, the ones you catch are going to be, for the most part, are going to be giants. So if you're willing to put the time in, the thing is you learn the most in the wintertime. That's, you know, you're learning a lot. It's easy when you're catching fish, you learn stuff, but you don't learn as much. When you're not catching them, that's really when you improve your thinking.
River says, catch a big fish already.
River, I wish I could catch a big fish already. Tell Mom stop telling you what to say. Hi, River. Mom, fish. Every time I catch one, I'll go, big fish.
How old is he?
2.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I got my sunglasses out from under you real quick, right?
How far do the bass move? Or do they from spring to fall? Are they generally stay in the same area?
I think so. I don't think they go all that far. And I'm like a nerd when it comes to reading. When they do like reports and stuff, where they'll tag fish and then they'll watch where they're caught again. And everything I've ever saw and everything I've ever seen as far as catching the same fish before, I don't think they move that far. I feel like they live within like 100 yards, you know, a football field length, pretty much their whole life. Largemouth. Smallmouth tend to wander a lot more. Largemouth, I think they stay in the same general area. You know, unless they're caught and taken back, then who knows what happens. And we all know how many fish have been caught and taken back to a ramp here. So, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that they move all that far. And nobody really knows the answer, so I mean that's just an opinion. But I don't think they do. Water temperature's cold. 44 degrees.
River says bass fishing is better at 8 o'clock. I guess that's
Bass fishing is better at 8 o'clock. Bass fishing is better anytime that you're not working
yeah.
or are working. I'm sure there's some people on here that are working right now.
Are all the slips open over there?
Yes. All the sailboaters got their boats out finally.
That was from Eric. And the docks are still there.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to sneak over there and fish in there, I'm sure nobody's going to say nothing to you at this time of year because there's no boats over there, but just be careful. Don't get a ticket last second to go through. Just bump that rock better. See, I'm letting the spinnerbait go just low enough to where I can't see it. There's still a little bit of grass right here. This bank right here kind of angles down, so it's like a perfect angle. particular spot. Really, on this particular lake, with this water being this cold, we're fishing for one bite today.
Brad says, can you catch them all winter up tight? I guess up shallow or?
Yeah, it means up front to the bank. I don't see why not. I mean, yeah, I don't see why not. I would feel like they're still going to be in the same areas because it's easier for them to feed shallow. So I don't see why not. I mean, it's 44 degrees and I'm still doing it. So I don't see what a couple, more degrees would do. Now, especially if we get a couple warm days, like if the water, like Monday and Tuesday is supposed to be 50 and 60, I would go, if it's warm Monday and Tuesday like that, I would go Wednesday. And you can bet your ass there'll be some big ones up here shallow. Some of them never leave. I feel like some of them just slide out from that, basically under the boat right now and just slide up. They're not going to move far. But that bait also loves that heat. When that heat's coming in, it feels good. That's what they're going to gravitate towards.
Eric says, does the bait size matter this time of year?
Some people will say that you should downsize your bait. I haven't noticed any bit of difference. Now, a blade bait is entirely it's small. It's just a tiny, small piece of chunk, and that's one of the best winter baits that there are once it really gets cold. So I've caught them on, a full-size spinnerbait, a full-size jig, and a small blade bait. So no, I would say no. It doesn't matter.
If the rocks heat up the water, why aren't you fishing by the dam?
I am fishing by the dam. So you're talking about the
Yeah, the rock.
riprap
Yeah, the
rock?
riprap.
I mean, if you look at it, it's exactly the same, except it's deep. That we got trees and brush and all kind of shit over here. Over there by the dam, you don't have any of that. There's like one lone tree over.
You only have 20% battery left.
All right, that's fine. It's not a bad idea, but in my experience, I have not caught them well over there.
Or the
in-
point by the fishing pier.
in the wintertime. Yeah, that's a good spot too. The point by the fishing pier is another good one. Anywhere there's bluff rock banks, that's. I mean, you've heard me say it over and over again. Anytime there's a bluff rock bank, all these up here are pretty much like this. And then you got a couple of them down at 3 Mile. You got a couple of them at Mid Lake, and then you got a couple of them up here. The reason why I'm up here is because it's 2 degrees warmer than it is down there.
Oh, that's a, yep.
This area holds, it's a lot more water, it's a lot deeper, so it holds a lot more heat, and takes longer for it to cool down.
What time of year do you use crankbait?
Right now you could use a crankbait if you're throwing a,
Square bill or
no, I would want one with a tight wobble. So like a,
trap? Or
any balsa style wood bait, or like a flat-sided crankbait would be good because it's got a tight wiggle. But the main time that I throw crankbaits would be in the spring and then the summer. I mean, really any time of year, but it all depends on the conditions. I'm gonna throw a crankbait the most in the fall and the spring, a little bit in midsummer. In the winter, not so much, but I'm sure you could catch one. Like I said, it all depends on what you have confidence in. I have more confidence.
I think that's it too, is that confidence, huh?
Yeah, I have more confidence in a spinnerbait than I do any bait out there. So, like, I've caught multiple giant fish on a spinnerbait when the water is cold. So that's what I tend to stick with.
Adam says, what's up?
What's up, Adam? We didn't get out here early either. We, like I said, the morning bite hasn't been that great, so we just wait until 8 o'clock, come out. It's already, a little bit warmer, and then, 10 to 12, I'll fish hard because I know that's like our biggest window. The best thing about fishing in the winter is there is literally no one out here. Like, you have the whole lake to yourself. So if you want to practice doing something, you
Yeah.
can practice, or dumping this off these trees because I know there's fish in these trees. So I do want to fire on it. It's coated. Like I said, you're fishing for very, very little bite, but it's rewarding because when you do catch one, it's a giant.
Adam says, "What have I missed? Any fish today?"
No, Adam, we're just doing it for a little while. It's 9:46. We started at 9 o'clock. We're only going till 10 o'clock. It's not even, the purpose of this wasn't, I mean, if we catch a fish, it's a bonus. The purpose of this was just for a question and answer. So I can answer your guys' any questions that you have that I might have missed this year, or that I can show you while we're out here instead of just sitting in my living room talking to you, you know what I mean? So if you got any questions, fire them at me.
Eric, what color of soft plastics do you use over there? I make my own. I would love to know.
Black and blue and green pumpkin. It's the only two colors I use. If you can't catch them on those two, you're not going to catch them on any color. Sorry, man. I got everybody in my house is sick right now. Yeah, black and blue and green pumpkin. Any other color than that, you don't really need. White. White's another one. White, black and blue, green pumpkin. A lot of people have asked me why I don't use a trailer on my spinnerbait. I never have used a trailer on my spinnerbait. I feel like it kills the action of the bait, but I do use a longer skirt so that the tail hangs a little bit longer.
Matt says, do you fish offshore structure during winter?
No.
Why not?
I already answered that. Jesus.
That was me saying that.
No, I don't. You can go back if you need the answer to that. You can go back and rewind it after we're done, and you'll hear the answer. It's a lot. A lot of people that I've talked to the past couple weeks in the winter have been struggling. And I think that's the main reason why, because you're led to believe that everything tells you that these fish are going to go 40, 50, 60 feet deep in the wintertime, and that's not always true.
That's a good point.
Hell, I seen a bunch of pictures last year from guys out here catching them under the ice in 10 foot. So if they're on the ice in 10 foot, you can bet your ass they're in 10 foot right now. Now that I don't have patience for. I could sit out here and fish all day in the cold, you know, for a bite or two, but I'm not sitting on the damn ice. That's just freezing you're literally freezing your ass cheeks off. Unless we got like some kind of hut or some shit with like a propane heater. Alright, we're gonna throw the jig now.
Do you use your fish finder when fishing like this along the bank for Mark?
I don't. I turn it on because I want to see the water temperature, and I'm kind of paying attention to the bait as I go over it to see. A lot of the times, the bait will give away the location of the fish. So like when you're going down the bank like this, and you look over and you see a giant ball of bait in one area, but that's it, then chances are, you want to focus on that area a little bit longer. But no, I don't use it as far as like looking for stuff. But again, I mean, you can if you're newer to that lake or the lake that you're on. I've been on here a million times, so I have a good idea visually what everything looks like. That's probably a reason why I don't use it as much too. Now these bushes, I was catching them on bushes last a couple days ago. I caught, well, I already said that, didn't I? Didn't I tell them already about that? The bushes on the, yeah, because I lost one. I got bit off, and then I caught two back to back. But they were staying high in these bushes, like right on the edge of the bush up high. And I never thought in a million years, as cold as it is, they would be up there. But that's why you always just got to go by like visual clues and not pay attention as much to what the book says. Because these fish don't know there's a book, you know what I mean? They don't know what they're supposed to be doing or not supposed to be doing.
Are you still favoring down scan over side scan? That was a question.
No, I mean, I don't favor one over the other. They're just two totally different tools. Like, on the front deck of the boat, you can't use side scan because you're going, you have to go like 4 or 5 miles an hour just to be able to read it. So it's not that I favor it. I use down scan more because up front, that's what I use. I use down scan with fish reveal, and then you know, when I'm idling or if I'm on a new lake, I would certainly use side scan way more than anything else. So it's not that I favor one, it's just they come in at different times. You know, side scan is good for idling and looking for structure and all that. Down scan is good for when you're actually dropping, you know, fishing under the boat or looking for structure directly under the boat.
I think it's Ned said, do you ever use no, it wasn't Ned. Do you ever use a Ned rig?
Ned said, do I ever use it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yes, I do. I use it on certain lakes. I used it on Champlain this year. I used it on St. Lawrence River, and I used it on Oneida Lake in New York. I haven't thrown it a whole lot here. It's not, I guess it depends on the type of bank you're fishing, but yeah, Ned head is a good finesse bait, probably one of the best right now. But if you're fishing clear rocky lakes, then yeah, that's what you, a Ned rig is hard to beat. How much battery we got left, man?
It's really low. It just came on again. I think 10%. Oh, you're really close to the bank. What depth of water is your boat set in? Matt says that. Yeah.
Back there before a little bit in this video, I was sitting in 20 foot, so it all depends on, I honestly, I wouldn't pay attention to it. As long as you have, you know, say 8 foot or more, then that's plenty of water. But if you're sitting on the bank and you're in, you know, 1.5 foot of water, obviously, you're sitting in too close. For this time of year, you want to be in 10 foot or more. Now we're sitting at 12. This is about how far off the bank I'll stay. So, yeah. Like I said, bluff style bank. Guys, we got about 6 more minutes, so ask your question. Don't be shy.
Where can I hide from my wife? Obscene amount. What can I hide from my wife with all my obscene amount of fishing gear?
Is that what it said, or is that what you
No, that's what it said, but I can't. Who said that?
I don't know who said that, but that's funny. But
Yeah.
I've learned that it doesn't work no matter what you try
Yeah,
to do.
how about it?
I've sent packages other places. I have hid it
Yeah.
in my garage. I've been home to get the package before she got home, and she always finds out. So,
Thanks for going live. It is appreciated, Morris. Adam, LOL.
it was,
Yeah.
that was hilarious. Yeah, we've all done it.
Thanks a lot for all the info, Eric.
Yeah, you got it, man. Anybody else got anything else? You got 4 minutes. Like I said, if you guys are gonna come out, you're gonna do this. Now,
When do you start taking trips during the spring?
45 degrees and higher. I will tell you that when it's the same temperature it is now, when it's 45 to 47 or something like that, you're not fishing for many bites. You're fishing for giant bites, though. I mean, like, every bite you get will be a giant. If you really want to fish numbers, you know, and catch good quality ones too, I would say May would be the best time for that. April, big fish, May, numbers. Anything after that is all. Sometimes more.
Will you be booking trips during the spring?
Yes, absolutely. This year I appreciate all you guys. A lot of us had a really good time together. We had a lot of trips that we just had a good time, met some good people, made some good friends. So yeah, absolutely. I'll be taking them over the winter for the springtime. Like I said, big fish in April, numbers in May. It just gets better from there. So if you're out to catch a fish of a lifetime, April is the time you want to go out. You know, depending on the weather. That water's in the high 40s. That's when you want to be out here.
What will you be throwing in April?
April, if you watch any one of my pre-spawn videos, you'll see I do pretty much the same thing every year. Senko and a spinnerbait. Out of all the 7+ pound fish I've caught on this lake, 2 were on a spinnerbait and the other one was on a Senko. And then the other 2 were on a frog. So 3 of those were in the springtime, 2 of them were in the fall.
How was frog fishing this year?
Fucking phenomenal. Frog fishing this year was fucking just amazing. You know, we didn't get a ton of bites fishing the frog, but like when it was good, we were having, you know, 5, 6, 7 good quality, you know, giant bass coming through the grass, and it's always exciting to fish topwater. So if you can fish for 6 hours and get that many bites, it's fun. You know, we probably could have got more if we would have stayed out all day, but the weather happened so fast, the grass died so quick. But while it lasted, it was good. It was really good. Now that it's like 10 o'clock, you can feel that this wind is starting to blow, and I guarantee you that has a major effect on why 10 to 12 o'clock was the best part of the day. Because it seems like it just started. It's not. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. It's 10 o'clock. If I missed anything or if Randy missed anything, any more questions answered, just put them in the link below or in the comments below. And we'll see you guys soon. All right. Thank you guys for watching.